What is going on, you guys, and welcome to another Orion Tech Tips video. In today's video, we will be discussing the iPhone 13 Pro Max. I will be telling you guys specs and then giving my opinion if I think it is worth it. So starting off for the body, we have it weighs 240 grams and is 7.7 millimeters in thickness. 240 grams or 8.47 ounces. It has a Gorilla Glass front and back with a stainless steel frame, similar to one of the iPhone 4. However, they did cheap out on their 12 and 12 mini. I did cover both those phones, so if you haven't, then be sure to watch those as well. This is the 13 Pro Max, so it is the biggest, most powerful in the 13 lineup, and also the most expensive phone in the Apple lineup at this moment, right now in October of 2021. Okay, it has single SIM, nano SIM, eSIM, or dual SIM. It is IP68 water and dust resistance up to 6 meters for 30 minutes. It does have a Super Retina XDR OLED 120 Hz, HDR10 with Dolby Vision, 1000 nits peaking at 1200 nits. So that is nice. That I'm pretty sure in terms of the brightness, that is the same as the 11 Pro and 11 Pro Max. However, it is the 120 hertz. I mean, that's nice. I mean, yeah, 120 hertz is enough. I just don't know why. I'm not going to complain like, oh, well, it should be a higher refresh rate. No, I mean, 120 hertz is fine. It's just, why did they take so long to get it? This should, like, people were expecting. I mean, even when the iPhone 10, before the iPhone 10, there was the Razer phone that had the 120 hertz. So that was in 2017, and then we don't have it until 2021. So that's like 4 years later. So that, I mean, yeah, that is kind of annoying, but here it is. Oh, and it's not in the base models, only in the premium models, so take that for what you will. Okay, we have, this is a 6.7 inch display. It has a 87.4 screen to body ratio with a resolution of 1284 by 2778. It has a 458 ppi, or pixels per inch, so that is a good looking display. It's not, I mean, it's not that far off from the iPhone 7 Plus's 401 pixels per inch. So, and keep in mind that was a 2016 phone released for a lot cheaper than this. But I mean, this is not that bad. The 7 Plus did have a good display. I mean, this display certainly isn't horrible. Okay, it comes up out of the box with iOS 15, obviously, as you would expect. As the Apple A15 Bionic 5 nanometer, 3-core, 3-thread at 3.2 gigahertz. Yeah, I mean, all phones have the same, all of the 13 lineup have the same chipset. And then its own Apple dedicated GPU with 5 graphical cores. You can't really utilize all of that on the iPhones, at least right now. Even on the most high-end video editing, which you don't have access to, high-end video editing, but even when you're video editing, even when you're gaming, you really can't use all that power, so it definitely will last a while. Some people may see that as a good thing, some people may see that as a bad thing, so take that for what you will. It has, the options include 128, 256, or 512, or 1 terabyte, all with 6 gigabytes of RAM. I mean, for a phone that's like 1,500 Canadian, or 16, it goes like higher than 2,000. I know that. Like I look at some Apple prices and like, oh my god, that is so stupid. I cannot believe it's priced that. But I do wish like 128. I mean, is it enough for most people? Yeah, sure, but for the price of this phone, I do wish it started at least 256. But of course, Apple will cheap out on. I mean, they always want to increase their profit margins. They'll cheap out on whatever they can to save money. So they've been cheaping out on storage as long as we know, or forever. They've always been cheaping out on storage, giving us tiny amounts, and then if we want more, they just charge us a fortune for space that we actually need. And then, yeah, so we have 3 12-megapixel cameras, wide telephoto ultra wide, f1.5, f2.8, f1.8, aperture 26 millimeters, 77 millimeters, 13 millimeters. Is that really an upgrade? No, it's not. I'm sorry to say, like, I know, like, some Apple fanboys will say, well, yes, it is. This tiny thing is tweaked and this and the software and the No, we've had that since the iPhone 6S in 2016. Granted, we didn't have 3 cameras. We only had 1, but it's still the camera. Just, you have 3 iPhone 6S cameras slapped onto the same phone. So that's kind of what it is. Meanwhile, this is 12 megapixels. There's companies like Samsung and other Android manufacturers giving us 108 megapixels. So 10 times as good on the cameras. So yeah, still 4K 60, 1080p 240. Exactly the same as the 2015 iPhone 6S for like half the price when it was released. Yeah. Alright, so Bluetooth 5.0 and Wi-Fi 6.0 dual band. It does have NFC and Lightning USB 2.0. It does have a lithium-ion 4352 milliamp hour battery, or 16.75 watts. And the battery, Mr. Who's the Boss of the battery says it lasts like close to 9 hours, or around, I think it was around 9 hours, which is actually quite impressive. So the battery life, this is certainly will do good. I know, like, with only 6 gigabytes of RAM, and with only a 3-core GPU, yeah, I mean, and only, I know, I'll actually backtrack. I mentioned that this phone had a 120 Hertz display. Yes, that is true. However, it's not always 120 Hertz. And what I mean by that is it will change based off what you're swiping the display. I don't really like that. I wish it could just be 120 Hertz all the time, so even like when I'm watching content, I could still get that 120 Hertz. And there's no way to change that, like competing Android phones. So, yeah. Keep that in mind. 27 watt fast charging. MagSafe wireless charging is 15 watts. And QI fast wireless charging is 7.5 watts. Neither of those are very impressive. The OnePlus, well, I mean, most Android competitors can charge way faster than that, especially OnePlus with like their 65 watt chargers. If not, I I think they've gotten even better than that. Okay, and that is it. So, okay, it hasn't really changed iPhone to iPhone. It only has 6 GB of RAM, which really isn't enough, in my opinion. And in the A15 Bionic, it's only a 3-core processor. I know if you go to Apple.com, it will say 6 cores. 3 of those are threads, and only 3 of those are cores. So you only get 3 real cores. Okay, so 6 GB of RAM, yeah, no, that's not enough. Still get the same camera setup. And I know people will argue software, and yes, if you do benchmark the Apple A15 Bionic, it will benchmark higher. However, that is just pretty much even Apple fanboys agree that that is optimized software for Geekbench. It's either Apple programmed their own software to benchmark higher on Geekbench, or Apple paid Geekbench to make Apple phones benchmark higher. Kind of like that gas test, that gas efficiency test with the Volkswagen a while back, if any of you remember that. Okay, alright, so if I had this money, would I buy this phone? No, probably not. I might buy like a cheaper iPhone, like maybe I'd buy, if like if I had to spend like $2,000 on a phone, I'd probably, there's a lot I'd go with. Probably the Note 20 Ultra, the Galaxy, the Fold, the Fold, the newest one, the ROG phone. I wonder when the next Razer phone is coming out. So probably the 2 Samsung phones or the ROG phone, if I just wanted to go all out spending like stupid amounts of money that would cost the same as the iPhone, the 13 Pro Max. So, yeah. And if I didn't really want to like spend that money, I mean, the software on iPhones, they're not bad. I might go for something like the maybe, I mean, if this was my money and I'm not the richest person in the world, but I still want a good iPhone, I might go back a generation and buy the 12, or maybe if I really needed the 12 Pro, just because they're a generation old, and I would save some money doing that. However, if money isn't an issue for you, and you do like the software in the iPhones, and you can accept stuff like you're not going to get the best cameras, you're not going to get the fastest display, you're not going to get the higher resolution, you can't have multiple apps running in the background, you're not going to get the fastest performance, but you still like the software, you still like using your AirPods, your MacBook, your iPad, all in the ecosystem, then of course this would be the best phone to do that. Of course, if money isn't an issue for you. But yeah, okay, that's what I'm going to do it for this video. Remember to like and subscribe. Leave a comment about what other videos you want to see, and I will be sure to do those for you. And yeah, I appreciate you guys watching. I appreciate your support. Thank you for watching this content. I really do appreciate it. I haven't really been able to upload as much as I want to, just because other stuff has been getting to my way, and YouTube definitely isn't my #1 priority. However, I still really do enjoy filming videos as a hobby, and I'll try to keep this up as long as I can, around maybe like a weekly schedule. I can't upload every day, unfortunately. That's just not possible. I don't have the time like other YouTubers. But yeah, alright, I just want to say thank you for watching this, and I'll see you all in the next video. Peace out, guys.